Hi, everyone. Most of us assume that when we find a life partner, then he or she will automatically be our best friend. Whether we are living long term or married to our partner, there is an unspoken expectation that our partner is our best friend. Sadly, some of us become shocked and disappointed when we realize later that our partners are not who we thought they were when we first met them, and the compatibility may not be high enough to form a close bond of friendship, such as best friends. So, what happened? How did we start out so strongly only to discover years later that we didn't really know our partners that well and now learn that we may not share enough core values and common ground to build a harmonious relationship that will last forever? I believe the main reason how some of us end up in these situations is because we weren't patient or aware of the dating stages of a relationship. Instead, we got caught up in the early stage of passion and allow the momentum of that stage to blindly lead us to equating passionate love as real love. Let me say this again. Instead, we got caught up in the early stage of passion and allowed the momentum of that stage to blindly lead us to equating passionate love as real love. And this is where the disconnect comes in. Instead of being patient and letting enough time pass for passionate love to evolve into a real love, we take a detour from the four stages of a relationship. I posted a video last year called The Two Secrets to Dating Successfully. First, those of you who haven't seen that video, I invite you to please check out that video. Essentially, there are four stages to a relationship, and the first stage being the romance stage. It is the romance stage where most of us lose perspective and become lulled into thinking that romantic, passionate love is real love. We unknowingly skip the rest of the three stages and rush into a long term commitment prematurely. And I've often said that in my previous videos, the last three stages we don't go through during the dating process, we will inevitably go through while we are in our long term committed relationship or marriage. The rest of the three stages are all part of determining health, compatibility, and success of a relationship. When we take a shortcut by skipping the last three stages, the last three dating stages, we relinquish the valuable opportunity to select the best partner for us. And so this is why I believe many of us have woken up years later wondering what happened and why we may not even recognize our partner. Now, I want you to be honest with yourselves for a moment and answer this question. How many of you have said, my partner is not the same person I dated long ago? If you can relate to this question and feel alone in your relationship or marriage, then chances are you didn't marry the best partner because you were like many of us who committed or married too soon. I predict many people are in unfulfilling relationships or marriages because we are with partners who are not compatible with us. And if you look at the divorce rate from last year, which is like 40 to 50%, the numbers don't lie. And obviously, there's a lot of half the married population is not happy and are unfulfilled. Um, we then resign ourselves to making the best of a mediocre situation and settle for living like roommates. Does this sound all too familiar? If yes, you probably feel very alone in your relationship and wish you had a best friend. If this sounds like you, it's never too late to change your life and find happiness from within. Um, Today, I want to share with you how you can be your own best friend. Becoming your own best friend will help you get unstuck from feeling lonely, and you'll attract the right people in your life. And one of those people could potentially become your best friend. Frankly, if we were our own best friend to begin with during the dating stages, we would have not settled so quickly and would have had the awareness to let the test of time play out in our best interest to see if our dating partner is compatible with being our best partner or best friend. If you are feeling alone in your relationship or marriage right now and are ready to become your own best friend, to attract a best friend, please write in the comments section below the words ready to be my own best friend. Okay? So if you're at this stage, folks, which I I predict many of us are, please write in the comments below, ready to be my own best friend. First, let's define what a best friend is. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a best friend is defined as a person's closest and dearest friend. This relationship is characterized by deep affection, trust, and support. And according to mindful.org, it talks about understanding the concept of being your own best friend. Quote unquote. Being your own best friend means cultivating a positive and supportive relationship with yourself. This involves treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, much like a true friend would. It emphasizes the importance of self love and self advocacy. To simplify things for our discussion, here are 10 simple ways to be your own best friend. The 10 ways will be represented in the spelling of the words best friend. Okay, so the first letter, B for blessed. It's feeling blessed by creating a daily habit of counting your blessings. This will keep you humble and happy for feeling grateful in the big and small things. Excuse me, clear my throat. Let me say it again. I'm sorry. Let me say this again. This will keep you humble and happy for feeling grateful in the big and small things. There is so much to be thankful for. Our freedom, safety, health, food, shelter, water, family, friends, loved ones, material comfort, peace of mind, sunshine, weather, location of where we live, etc. Feeling blessed will go a long way to appreciating the goodness in our life and being happy. E for entertain. It's important to be your own entertainment. Find hobbies, sports, and activities that you can attend to, have fun, and enjoy your life. Keeping yourself entertained will go a long way to avoid feeling lonely. This is probably the most important way to be your best friend out of all the other ways I'll be talking about, because being able to entertain yourself will help empower you to love yourself and find your own happiness from within. Let me say this again. This is very, very important, folks. This is probably the most important way to be your best friend out of all the other ways that I'll be talking about, because being able to entertain yourself will help empower you to love yourself and find your own happiness from within. If you never learn to entertain yourself, you won't know yourself well and conquer your loneliness. The reason why this is so critical to learn is because by finding your own happiness, you will become self-reliant and less needy. Okay? And let me just say this again. The reason why this is so critical to learn is because by finding your own happiness, you will become self-reliant and less needy. Most needy people don't know themselves well and thus rely on others to make them happy. They expect others to entertain them because they are so lonely and will oftentimes get into toxic relationships because their loneliness and neediness cause them to accept anyone who pays them little attention. They often refer to that as breadcrumbing. And it's important to note that the narcissists target lonely, needy people specifically because they're considered as easy targets for them to control. So if this sounds like you, please make the commitment today to learn how to entertain yourself to avoid toxic breadcrumbing relationships. Okay, letter S for support. When you have a bad day or going through unexpected challenges, tough times, it's important to stay focused on getting the problem resolved. Instead of complaining, feeling overwhelmed, and giving up, this is the time to be supportive of your inner convictions, your effort, and your actions. Be your own greatest fan or cheerleader. It's finding faith and strength from within to press forward when you're lacking support from others. Find creative ways to comfort yourself. Calm and soothe your mind in times of emotional distress. It may mean listening to your favorite music, treating yourself to your favorite foods or dessert, or watching a comedy show or a movie. Learning to support yourself will reinforce self-reliance and personal responsibility. You will discover the inner strength and fortitude you never knew you had. Being self-supportive is a must when it comes to being your own best friend. Okay, letter T for thinking positively. Basically, it's intentionally being positive in your thoughts and attitudes. Positive, happy people attract positive, happy people. The opposite is true too, meaning negative, unhappy people attract negative, unhappy people. For those of you who have had the unpleasant experience of being in a relationship with a narcissist, you know all too well the emotional pain and suffering involved. Narcissists, especially, are negative, unhappy people who are attracted to negative, unhappy people. And likewise, positive, happy people are attracted to positive, happy people. Let those words sink in for a minute. Think positively to being your own best friend will attract a positive best friend. Remember always, likes attract likes. F for foster friendship. While it's important to maintain your current friendships as well as making new friends, it's equally important to foster the friendship to yourself as well. Being your own best friend is having self-awareness of knowing what your own needs are and how to encourage yourself to meet your needs. It means being able to laugh at yourself sometimes and not take life or yourself too seriously. New people you meet in the future will not have a clue on how to foster a friendship with you, and likewise, you won't have the discernment to know if that person is compatible with you if you have not yet fostered a strong friendship from within first. Okay, R for relax. Make time to rest, relax, and rejuvenate. Sometimes getting away for a while from the normal routine and stresses of life are required to detoxify, clear your mind, regain perspective, and catch up on much needed sleep. Being your own best friend requires having a balance in life. Being too busy all the time can be too stressful, and taking time out to slow down helps to calm your body and mind to offset the inner stress and turmoil. Learning to relax is key to creating a healthy version of yourself as your own best friend. Okay, I for I love me is honoring your authentic self and sovereignty. Acknowledging the priority of loving yourself above others is so important when it comes to being your own best friend. After all, how are you going to expect others to love you when you don't love yourself first? Let me say that again. After all, how are you going to expect others to love you when you don't love yourself first? I love me is a declaration that you like who you see when you look in the mirror. You believe in yourself and are willing to stand in your truth, even if you must stand alone. It's also realizing and knowing your uniqueness, value, and purpose in this world. It's a healthy mindset. It's a healthy self view that humbly accepts all personal flaws and imperfections while boldly stating, I'm good enough. I don't need to compete or compare myself to others or be like others. I'm good enough just the way I am. Okay? So this thing about, loving yourself and actually saying out loud, I love me is important. Okay? Because most of us, if we've grown up in an environment in childhood that wasn't conducive to positive reinforcement, right? To a positive uh, confirmation of ourselves, of our value, right? Then we grow up with we grow up with a very negative mindset and view of ourselves, and so this is very important to be able to declare, out loud to yourself that you love yourself, and there's something that I think a lot of us need to do. Okay, T for think positively. Oh, I'm sorry, we just did that one. Next page. E for exercise. As we all know, keeping ourselves in good health means not only eating well, but maintaining our physical health through daily exercise. It is also a great way to relieve stress and keep our bodies active. The challenge is finding motivation to begin. You must push yourself to take the first step, and once you get going, it gets easier to continue and finish the exercise. The key is getting past the motivation hump and then consciously deciding to commit to motivating yourself regularly. They say a habit takes 30 days to take hold. So start the habit of exercising today. Your body will thank you for it later. Okay? And N for nurture. Nurturing yourself means taking care of your mind, body, and soul. Taking care of your mind involves being happy and peaceful. And that also means fiercely protecting your peace of mind. It's constantly being aware of your surroundings and vigilant about allowing experiences and people into your life that is only meant for your highest good. It's not allowing negative or toxic experiences or people into your life. Taking care of your body means feeding it healthy and nutritious food that brings optimal health and well-being. Taking care of your soul means keeping your heart pure and full of love. However, you must have a level of discernment to guard your heart and be wise about who you allow into your heart. Not everyone you meet deserves a place in your heart. As you learn to become your own best friend and nurture yourself, you will instinctively know who truly loves you and will nurture you like a best friend. Okay, and last but not least, D for daily affirmations. Practicing daily positive thoughts and words of affirmation to build your self confidence and self esteem. Your affirmations can be written on a piece of paper or something you can say repeatedly to yourself every day to remind yourself of your value and self worth. Sometimes we grew up with negative, toxic people and or caretakers who have verbally or emotionally abused us, and we may not have received too many positive words of encouragement. So, using positive affirmations is a way of reprogramming and overriding some of the negative, toxic messages we may have received and internalized during our childhood. Daily affirmations will also help to replace the negative, unhealthy environment we grew up in, as well as serve as a powerful tool to strengthen and build a healthy self-love. Okay. In summary, learning to be your own best friend takes time and practice. Whether you are currently single or in a relationship, it is in your best interest to start being your own best friend. There are 8.2 billion people in the world, so there is hope that everyone can attract a best friend to journey through life with. If you're feeling lonely and don't have a best friend, I encourage you right now, make the vow to yourself to be your own best friend to attract a best friend. Okay? And folks, I just want to, interestingly enough, I just want to say that as I was rereading this before I came to post it, um, I realized that this is almost like a continuation of my previous video, which is to love yourself to attract love. Okay, this video, I realized it kind of breaks down really what self love is, what how you can approach self love, like how to self love, right? So and really it is being like your own best friend. So I think this video is a good continuation from the previous video. If you haven't seen my previous video, I encourage you to go and watch that. And you'll see that this video is sort of like a part two, if you will, to my previous video. And before I go, I just want to say I want you to know that I have this. My recent book is worth reading as well. It's called Fairy Tales are for Frogs: The Reality of Happily Ever After. This book was written during the period of time when, not too long ago, as a matter of fact, it was over a little bit over a year ago, where I felt unhappy and lonely. And so for those of you who are in long-term relationships, or if you're married, and you're feeling this void in your life or in your heart, and like many of us, if you didn't marry your best friend, then this book will help you heal. It will help you start healing. Okay, I still recommend that you go to a professional counselor and get help. However, this is a good starting point. This book will go through the steps on how to find happiness from within, and give you some ideas and some steps on how to learn how to love yourself. Okay, and it's a short book, as you can see, so it won't take you that long to finish it. So I definitely encourage you to check it out when you get a chance. Okay, and you can find my book on my YouTube page in my profile, where I provide links to all my books. I wrote 4 books. This is the fourth, my latest book, which is the fourth book. And you can find them on Amazon.com. So you can also find the link to Amazon of this book if you go onto my page. Okay. So, Folks, I hope this video resonated with you. If you liked it, please click like and click share. If you haven't yet have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel so you can be posted on all my upcoming videos in the future. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And please, I do welcome you to share any comments that you may have. You know, if you've dated a narcissist, then I'm sure you have experienced some of the things that we discussed. Okay, and so I do want to encourage all of you to, if you haven't already, I do want to encourage you to start to learn to be your best friend. Okay, so with that said, I look forward to seeing all of you again in my next video. All right, so I'll see you soon. Bye.